Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please listen up. Tomorrow you have your vocab 11 through 20. Your math and your primaries are due tomorrow. Is everyone clear on that? Thursday, you have a test. You have a focus and a spice are due on Thursday. It's a very short week. I hope you enjoyed your MLK day. Hopefully you used your time wisely and got your focus and your spice done, of course, right? Because why would we want any drama in our lives? Second thing, take a look on my back wall right over here. Every student needs an AP World History Barron's book. Any edition from 2014 to 2019 by Friday, March 29th. It's January. I mentioned it in August. I mentioned it, I think, in October. And here I am in January mentioning it again. You need to have it on that date, ladies and gentlemen. It is due. That is the day of our first day of review. I will be introducing how we'll be using our Barron's. If you do not bring your Barron's on March 29th, I will lose my shit. Completely and utterly. Is everyone clear on that? So, everyone needs a Barron's book. If it is cost prohibitive to you and your family, you let me know and I have a means of getting things. Okay? However, if you can afford it, please do not ask me for it because it's going to come out of my pocket. But if you need it, I'll be more than happy to cover it for you. Is everyone clear on that? Okay? You can buy it online on Amazon for like 14 bucks. You can go to a Barnes & Noble and buy it for like 25 bucks. You have plenty of time to research to find it as cheap as possible. Is everyone clear on that? Now, if it's an older edition, that's perfectly fine, 2014 to 2019. It just can't have tons and tons in writing in it. Does that make sense? Because we're going to do tons and tons of writing in it. So it can already be done for you. And I will know if you have an old copy from one of my previous students because I'm not an idiot. When I flip open the book, guess what's going to be filled? Top to bottom already done. So don't try that. I've already had a student try that, idiot. How do you think I wouldn't know? Anyway. So, March 29th, everyone needs an AP World History Barron's book. Do you guys know what they look like? Yeah, most of you have read. I mean, they're little floppy little books. AP World is pretty dense though. So in comparison to my AP Psych book, it's pretty thin and pretty thick. Okay, this is what it looks like. Some of them have a DVD in the back. Don't buy it. We're not going to use it, and I doubt you are going to use it. It has 3 full exams in it, so you don't really need that. Is everyone clear? So if you can avoid that, it'll save you like 10 bucks. Yes? So, you just need the book. This is what it looks like. Everyone needs it by March 29th. Is everyone clear on that? That is going to stay up there. I'm going to put it on EDSB today as well. I'm going to keep reiterating it. So if you do not show up with us on March 29th, I'm going to lose my shit. Everyone clear? Okay. So, make sure you know that. Second thing, ladies and gentlemen, I have people dropping, which I'm good with. If you want to drop, get out now. You have to the end of this week of dropping ends. So if you are thinking about AP World is not for you, this is the time to move. Honors, you'll be so much happier because it only gets harder second semester. Way less grades, way less grade inflation. So, ta-da. What?
How's it way less grades?
Because we have less academic weeks, more writing weeks, and we're in review, which has less grades. So, it gets harder. Grade inflation plummets, by the way. All of your grades were inflated. So, everyone clear on that? So if you're thinking about going, make the call, make the decision. I've already talked to the people I need to talk to. If you are thinking about going, go. Because I've had 4 kids drop that I had nothing to do with. They showed up to me and was like, I want to go. Okay. Not going to fight you. So, make the decision. It needs to be done this week. Everyone clear? Cool. All right. Second thing. Third thing, I guess. There was something else I wanted to say, and I can't remember it. So we're going to switch right to your primary source. So everyone should have their primary source out and in front of them, please. With that being said, today we are in second semester, which means expectations change. Isn't that exciting? You now know how important doing primary sources are, correct? You now see the full importance of primary sources. So in order to make sure you're getting the most out of your primary sources, sitting and listening to me go through primary sources probably isn't the best thing for you anymore, is it? So, ladies and gentlemen, you have 5 minutes to complete the first primary source. Your time begins now. You need to have your happy done. There has to be annotations, ladies and gentlemen. If I have to do with annotations, so do you. Good luck. Isn't this fun? Second semester. You've got 2 minutes. Less than a minute. Guys, there better be annotations on your primary because none of you are good enough to do it without. Absolutely not. Even though the language is getting easier, would you agree? None of you are good enough to do it. So now you are just making arbitrary marks and writing down a bunch of crap, but none of you are good enough to do it that. All right, you have 1 minute to talk to someone and check your answers. Go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to hand your paper to someone you did not speak to. Go. Hand your paper to someone you did not speak to. Go. Quickly, 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 quickly. Ayla, let's go. Okay, so what you are going to do now is you are going to check their answers. Ladies and gentlemen, hi, Mia. I'm not babysitting you personally. I don't know if you noticed, it was a class of 30. All right, here we go. You are going to be checking their answers, ladies and gentlemen. Are we enjoying semester 2 so far? What a time to be alive. Here we go. On the front, it's out of 5 points, ladies and gentlemen. Your historical context should be about revolutions in South America. Anyone have a question about that? Everyone good? So, you can give them a little side point. Okay, don't just give them a little side. Next to their H, you should give them a little check or something. Their audience are the people of Canada or family or church back in Canada. Is everyone clear on that? It is not the people of South America. Any questions about an answer for that? What? That's fine. As long as it has Canada somewhere. What?
Established countries?
No. No, that is so vague and no. All right. Your purpose. The purpose of this piece was to show how reckless and dangerous the revolutions are. Okay? So, the purpose of the piece is to show how dangerous revolutions were. Any questions on that? Okay? The point of view of the piece is, okay, he thinks South Americans are idiots for revolting because they cannot think for themselves. Okay? So, their point of view has to be negative against South America, saying it's hurting them. And your why is it significant? It should be. It shows that there were lots of revolutions and not all successful. Okay? Now, take off 2 points if they do not have markings. Now, if some of them were put on last minute and look like they have no meaning, you can feel free to take them off. Take off 2 points if there are no markings on it. If they just underline, ladies and gentlemen, take off 2 points. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. So, if they just have lines, take off. Now, if they did not score, they did not write down a Y or a P or something like that, that's immediately a point off. Is everyone clear? Yes? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, no one in this room is smart enough to do primary sources without annotations. Making quick little notes. Is everyone clear on that? It sets your mind. It allows you to see what the pieces are, and then you can look bigger at them. You have to do it. You will be doing them. I have to annotate. You will be annotating. Is everyone clear on that? So, write the grand total out of 5 on the top, on the bottom. On the bottom. On the bottom, write the grand total. What? Who does the back one first? I just don't understand. What?
Did you say the Y would be like discourage revolution?
No. The discourage revolution in Canada? That would be a purpose. That would be a point of view, maybe. Alright, give it back to the person who owns it. Yes. HAPPY. 5. Alright, here we go. Give it back to the person who owns it. Oh! Give it back to the person who just graded it. You should have known to write your name by the score. I'm sorry. You should have known, but write your name by the score. Write the name by the score. Let's go. Whoever scored it. Every time you write a score down, you better. Guys, the highest you can get is 5. You don't get plus points because you wrote things on a primary source, which you're supposed to do. The highest you can get is 5. So is even 8 out of 5? Huh? Oh, okay. All right, give it back to the person who owns it. You have 5 minutes. Go. Yes. You have 5 minutes. Let's go. Whoever says it. Right. You're killing their time because you're not on time. You better, man. Go faster. And right on it, Hannah. You don't have time like that. Remember, just underlining and circling things does not get you points. You have 30 seconds. You have 1 minute to talk to your neighbor. You have 35 seconds.
I show why trade was unsuccessful. You know how to show how it's the only one that
15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Trade your paper with someone you have not spoken to yet today. Trade with someone you have not spoken to. Let's go. Everyone should be trading. Let's go. I'm not here to babysit. Let's go. Why don't you put your name at the bottom immediately so I know exactly who you are. Put your name at the bottom so I know exactly who you are. Here we go. Your historical perspective, ladies and gentlemen, is the liberation of South America due to economic reasons. Something in that regard. Everyone clear? Historic context cannot be trade. It has to be the liberation of South America. Now this is Argentina. Argentina happens to be the first country to be liberated. So who's going to be leading the charge? Argentina. So, audience. Who is the audience of this piece? Who's the audience, Matthew? There you go. Other South American. It has to be that answer. No other answer works. If it's wrong, put a slash through the audience. Okay? What? No, because they're already in full mode. It's for the other ones. Okay? Okay, your purpose is to outline Spain's manipulation and extortion of the colonies. Any questions about that? It literally lays out how Spain is corrupting their economy. What? No, bad economy, that's a shitty answer. Any questions? So if it's wrong, slash it. Okay, the point of view shows how damaged the colonies are and that it will take a long time to recover. That is the point of view of the piece. Does he make it sound like this is going to end as soon as they leave? No. It has to show the length of progress. Okay? And then finally, your why is it significant? It is important because it shows that Spain attempted to correct itself, right? He says it in the piece, and still failed. That is why it's significant. It shows that Spain tried and still failed. Now, if they have no marking, no writings, I don't care about circling and underlining, what a waste of time. If they have markings, they don't lose any points. But if they have no markings, take off 2 points. Everyone should, by your name, have a now total out of 5. Now what you are going to do is you are going to flip it over. Flip it over, and on the front of their, may I borrow one? On the front of their primary, you are next to revolutions, you are going to write the new score over 10. You're going to add up both sides and put a new score over 10. Do that now, please. Make sure it is nice and clear and easy to read. Okay, so what you are now going to do is you are going to please pass these to please pass it to the person who owns it so they can see their score. What? Yeah. Does that make sense? Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, look at your score. How'd you do? Hi, welcome to second semester. We spent 18 weeks building your skills on primary sources. Now that we're in week 20, you understand how important primary sources are, correct? You see them in your short answer questions, okay? You're probably not going to see them in your long answer questions, and your whole damn DBQ is primary sources. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how we're doing primary sources for the rest of our lives. You gotta get better at it, and me holding your hand, having you copy down what I write, isn't working anymore. You now know what you should be seeing, correct? You know how it should be looking. Now you need to do it on your own. Welcome to the next step. Please pass these to Abby. Abby, please just put them in a pile. Do not worry about putting them in order. Everyone else needs to take out their primary source. Nope, don't take out. Take out your notes. Let's go. How much fun was that?
So much.
So much fun. Don't we like trying new things?
Shit, that's what I thought. I couldn't hate primary sources.
Why would you hate them before? All you had to do was copy what I wrote.
That was hard.
There is. Because guess what? Long term, what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to do it on your own. You're going to have to think on your own. Oh, and you're going to have to think quickly. Do you see how that practices everything in a very small, as you're all glaring at me? Hey, Matthew. He's just straight up dead-eyed staring me down. You got to get better at them. And the way to get better is to practice. No more easy primary points. Ah, shucks. How sad. Here we go. Who can raise your hand and tell me where we left off? We got a lot to do. No one has any idea where we left off. Nate.
The Maximilian
Robespierre?
executed 40,000 people.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so we're in the French Revolution. Okay? We're in the second stage of the French Revolution. The first stage is actual French Revolution. The second stage is the Reign of Terror. And of course, third is Napoleon Bonaparte. Now, Maximilian is only really going to be in power for 1 year. It makes sense that he wouldn't be in power too long after, he orders the murder of 40,000 people, right? So pretty powerful. He's also incredibly radical. What are some of the things that him and the Jacobean Party implemented during this time period that are crazy radical? Abby?
They made a new calendar.
Yeah, which had 14 months instead of 12. Okay, we had weeks that were 10 days. Can you imagine? We had 7 days of school for 3 days off. That'd be the worst. Okay, I think 3-day weekends. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so he is going to be executed as well. Okay, and then just listen. Then the Jacobean Party falls out of favor, and the Opposal Party comes in. They're going to create the Directory. Okay, so in your notes, you're going to write this down. Okay, so, Robespierre. Killed. Replaced with Directory.
Are we still in Reign of Terror?
Yes. Okay? This is the blending of Reign of Terror. This is the transition. So Robespierre is killed, replaced by Directory. Okay? Then Directory is overthrown by Napoleon, who creates consulate. Okay? Then the consulate is overthrown by Napoleon again. Thrown by Napoleon. Okay? And then Napoleon declares himself emperor. Okay. That is how we transition from Reign of Terror to the Napoleonic Age. Okay, that's it. So, Robespierre is killed. That's officially your end. If you want to write in parentheses next to it, end of Reign of Terror, that's fine. Okay, then it's replaced by the directory. Now, when you take AP Euro your senior year, you're going to go into all the different components of it, which is very interesting. Then the directory is going to be overthrown by Napoleon, who creates the consulate. Then the consulate is going to be overthrown by Napoleon, and then Napoleon is going to declare himself emperor. He's actually going to do it twice, which is pretty cool. So here we go. So now, once you get to Napoleon declares himself emperor, if you want to write Napoleonic age next to it, that would be appropriate. So the heading of your new notes is the Napoleonic age. Okay, a couple things you need to know about Napoleon. He is a military general. Okay, so while the Reign of Terror was going on in the French Revolution, he's in the military. Okay, so he's still an active part. He's just in the military. Okay, you need to know that I would write 1802 next to Napoleon declares himself emperor. You do need to know that date. 1802. So 1802. Okay, this is your Napoleonic age. And then, of course, we have the end of Reign of Terror. Okay, so, crowns himself in 1802. You need to know that his first order of business is the Concordiat, and you do need to know that term. It's right up front. Okay, the Concordiat is an agreement with the Catholic Church. Why would he have to have an agreement with the Catholic Church, Sam?
The original revolution
There you go. They kicked the church out. So who does the Catholic Church love? Napoleon, because he lets them back in. You also need to know, so the Concordiat is an agreement with the Pope or the Catholic Church and creates freedom of religion for all. That is a very big deal. The Concordiat gives freedom of religion for all people for the first time in Europe. Okay? Then he creates the Napoleonic Code. You do need to know that. Napoleonic Code is going to be protects freedom of religion, makes all men equal in front of the law. Men. Makes women, strips women of even more rights. So we're even less. Okay? So, the Napoleonic Code is going to be reinsures freedom of religion. It makes all men equal in front of the law and takes rights away from women even more. The Napoleonic Code is going to take rights away from women. It is going to make all men equal in front of the law. So it doesn't matter if you're black, brown, purple, green. Doesn't matter. All men are equal. Women, however, are not. Okay? All right. So, now I would write Napoleonic Wars. It would be my next little subheading here. Napoleonic Wars. You need to know that Napoleon begins conquering Western Europe. Okay? Napoleonic Wars. Napoleon begins capturing Western Europe. Okay? Signs peace treaties. And open war. Okay, so he's doing it on two ways. In 1812, and you're going to have a big box around it. It is very important you know what year. In 1812, Napoleon attacks Russia and fails. Why does he fail? Don't know. Sam? Well, yeah, they started walking in their summer uniforms to Russia on June 22nd, 1812. They were walking in their summer outfits because it's freaking June in France and it's hot as hell. By the time they get to Moscow, it's September. Guess what starts in September? Snow, because it's Russia. So, because of that, they're all showing up in their, summer uniforms. The supply lines are really long. They're going to fail. Now, Russia, and you're going to write this down, you're going to put a big star. Russia uses slash and burn. Okay? Russia uses slash and burn as its only defense against Napoleon. Who can tell me what slash and burn is? Tristan.
That's the same
Kind of. But except this is strategic. What do they do? Rex?
So do they like cut down all the trees that don't have it?
Okay, guys, they burn every house. The Russians are burning Russian houses, Russian crops, and Russian trees. Okay? Why? Why, Rex?
So the point doesn't have like supplies and stuff, and they can't stand it.
There you go. They burn down everything. Okay, before the Napoleon gets there, they have no way to get anything from the land, which is what they need when they have hundreds of thousands of men marching this way. Correct? So, is this successful? Yes, it is successful. The French have to turn around and go back. How well do you think this affects Russia? No, not too well. Hundreds of thousands of Russians are going to die of starvation. It is going to sabotage Western Russia for about 50, 60 years. Just in time for what? World War I. Perfect. Which millions of them are going to die in World War I. Okay? So, what you need to know about Napoleon's invasion in 1812. He breaks a treaty. You also need to write that down. Breaks a treaty with Russia. Decides to take Russia in 1812. Marches all the way there. Can't get there because of slash and burn technique by the Russians. Okay, so the Russians win, but is it a real fruitful victory? No, absolutely not. Okay, so you then need to know, put a big star. Napoleon gets exiled for the first time. If I'm making it clear he gets exiled for the first time, is it the only time? Nope. So he gets exiled to the island of Elba, which is right up here. I don't care if you really need to know that. He gets exiled for the first time because he has brought shame to France. Okay? While on that island, you don't have to write this down. Okay? They have a cook. They have servants for him. Well, one of them was kind of cute, I guess, maybe. Some chick flirts with her, makes her fall in love, and he's like, take me on the rowboat. So she rows him to shore, and he steals a horse, rides back into Paris, and he's like, I'm back! Yes! And France is like, yes! He's back! And he declares himself emperor for the second time. So you need to write. He comes back to Paris, declares himself emperor for a second time, which is pretty boss. Okay? Not only did he declare himself emperor once, he declared himself twice. Now, while he's back, he's only back for 100 days. Okay? He's back for 100 days exactly. And on the 100-day mark, what battle occurred? Waterloo. He loses Waterloo, gets exiled for the... And at that point, he will die on that island because he gets drunk and falls down a place.
Who exiled him if like, he was the main emperor?
The National Assembly. No, Congress of Vienna is going to set us up after. Okay? So he goes to St. Helena on the second exile, and he will die there. Okay, so that was Napoleon. Now keep in mind, Napoleon is going to mess up all of the European states for a very long time. So when we get back to Europe here in like 2 weeks, we'll have the Congress of Vienna, which is going to try to put back post-Napoleonic age, and that'll be that. All right, here we go. Haitian Revolution. Let's go. So your big heading is the Haitian Revolution. Alright, so the Haitian Revolution, you need to know it is the only successful slave revolt in history, ladies and gentlemen. So please, let's give it its respect. That is pretty freaking awesome. To be able to overthrow colonial power is pretty awesome. Okay, it is on the island of Hispaniola, which is what we call what today? Haiti today, which is what? You need to know it's called Hispaniola. And it is going to be a French colony. West, it was always divided between Spain and France, but it's controlled by France. So you need to know, first slave revolt, ever successful slave revolt, you need to know it's controlled by France. Next to that, controlled by France during the Napoleonic age. Okay, so what is happening during the Napoleonic age in Europe, ladies and gentlemen? Huh? Wars. The French military is waging a ton of wars. So do you think they're keeping a close eye on their colony? Okay, so you do need to know that the slaves outnumber the white people by like a ratio of like 9-1. Okay. So you do need to know, and obviously we're going through this as super fast. You do need to know that is inspired by the American and French revolutions. Okay. It would never have happened if the French didn't have their revolution, because they wouldn't have been distracted. A guy named Napoleon would have come up. Okay. So you need to know that a guy named Toussaint, which is right here, Toussaint L'Ouverture, which is right here, Toussaint L'Ouverture. You don't need to know what his birth name is. Toussaint L'Ouverture is going to lead the rebellion. Okay? He is going to lead the rebellion, build an army of 20,000, and overthrow the French troops. Okay? And overthrow the French troops. He dies in a French prison. I think we all saw that coming, right? Okay, goodbye. We're in a better spot than we would have. See ya. I hope you had a great day in AP World. Is that what you're going to tell all your friends?